I'm Emma Ball from Wild Boar Ideas. I'm here today to tell you about Supermarket Scrooge, my show. You might remember me from other shows as well, Winnie the Witch or Cinderella Green, the Recycling Queen. Now, Supermarket Scrooge is a show all about a supermarket based on the Charles Dickens show, which is also a book.
Welcome! This lesson is all about describing characters, setting, and atmosphere using the fantastic play Supermarket Scrooge. Our play features Mrs. Scratchit, a loyal employee at Scroogeways supermarket, and her boss, Wilhelmina, who learns to appreciate the value of Christmas. The story starts on a Christmas Eve. Lots of shoppers are frantically dashing around the supermarket, but at the end of the shift, Wilhelmina decides to fire all her staff. She is going to replace them with the Tillatron 3000. She is obsessed with making money. But the Tillatron 3000 soon appears to malfunction, and it warns Wilhelmina that she will soon be visited by 3 bargain products. If she does not learn to appreciate loyalty and change her ways, she will end up lost and lonely.
Wilhelmina Scrooge, listen to me. It's time to change your ways. You care not for your family or your friends. You only care for money. The thing about money is, it does not make you happy. It's time to make your change, Wilhelmina. Make your change!
Supermarket Scrooge is based on a story by Charles Dickens called A Christmas Carol. The story is set in Victorian England and is all about the true meaning of Christmas. Wilhelmina is based on the character Ebenezer Scrooge. He works in a counting house where he greedily guards his money, and his favourite saying is "Bah humbug," which is his way of saying that he hates Christmas. On Christmas Eve, Scrooge is visited by the ghost of his old business partner, Jacob Marley, who appears in chains representing all the terrible things that he did with his life. Marley informs him that throughout the night he will be visited by 3 further ghosts, representing the past, the present, and the future. Each of the ghosts show him scenes that strike fear and regret into his heart, but by the end of the story, Scrooge is a changed man who embodies kindness, generosity, and the Christmas spirit.
Hello, I'm Wilhelmina Scrooge, and this is my supermarket.
Not really, it's me, Emma.
Wilhelmina is described as stingy, cruel, mean, and a money-grabbing fool. Charles Dickens uses lots of colourful language to describe Ebenezer. Oh, but he was a tight-fisted hand at the grindstone Scrooge, a squeezing, wrenching, grasping, scraping, clutching, covetous old sinner. This list of adjectives shows us how terrible Scrooge is. The words are verbs, but they've been used as adjectives here. Scrooge holds on tightly to his money, and these words are all things that you can do with your hands. Squeezing, wrenching, grasping, scraping, clutching. Now it's your turn to do some writing. Could you describe Wilhelmina? Perhaps you could use some adjectives. Is she selfish, cruel, miserly, greedy? Or maybe you can do what Dickens has done and use some verbs as adjectives. What might Wilhelmina do in the supermarket? Hoarding, stacking, counting, spying, criticising, checking. Over to you. Dickens loves to use similes to describe his characters. A simile is when you use the word as or like to make a comparison. At the start of the story, Scrooge is described as hard and sharp as flint, from which no steel has ever struck out generous fire, secret and self-contained, and solitary as an oyster.
Rude. I don't need you rude people. I've got a big car, you know.
Flint is a hard stone that's used to create fire by striking it with steel, but no amount of effort can ignite a spark of kindness or generosity in Scrooge. Hard and sharp suggests that he's cruel and unkind, potentially harmful. An oyster shell is very difficult to open, so that's a second simile suggests that Scrooge is a very closed person who rarely expresses his feelings. But at the end of the story, Scrooge has discovered the true meaning of Christmas and has become a happier and kinder person.
I'm as light as a feather. I'm as happy as an angel.
These similes starkly contrast with the earlier similes. Feathers are soft and come from birds, which symbolise freedom. Scrooge has been set free from his old way of life. The first spirit to visit Scrooge is the ghost of Christmas past, and it takes Scrooge back to memories of times gone by. It shows Scrooge visions of things from his past, including his lonely school days, working for a jolly and generous boss, and losing the love of his life. This ghost has an odd, otherworldly appearance. It was a strange figure, like a child, yet not so like a child, as like an old man viewed through some supernatural medium. It wore a tunic of the purest white, and round its waist was bound a lustrous belt, the sheen of which was beautiful. But the strangest thing about it was that from the crown of its head there sprung a bright, clear jet of light. In Supermarket Scrooge, the ghost of Christmas past is represented by Sid the Sprout.
Hello there, everyone. It's me, Sid the Brussels Sprout. I live on the marketplace. I'm right tasty. Have a banana. I love living at the marketplace. I'm there with all my family. We have such a lovely time. We haven't got much, but we know what's important. Looking out for each other. Have a banana.
Your challenge now is to write a description of Sid the Sprout. Try and use a range of adjectives and some similes. You could focus on his colour, texture, taste, or even smell. How could you convey his age and his personality? Over to you. The second ghost to visit Scrooge is a huge and vibrant character. In easy state, upon this couch, there sat a jolly giant, glorious to see, who bore a glowing torch. It is often portrayed as looking a bit like Father Christmas. It shows Scrooge visions of the world in the present moment. That means at the current time. He sees his loyal employee, Bob Cratchit, having Christmas lunch with his family, enjoying themselves and being grateful for what they have, despite their hardships and poverty. The supermarket version of this ghost is a present.
Hey, I'm the Christmas present. I sure am. Can you guess what I am? Am I one big slipper? Maybe I'm Lego friends. Who knows what's inside me? I love games, and I love game shows too. I like to give out presents and gifts to everyone. Merry Christmas!
Your challenge now is to write a description of the Christmas present. Try and show the lively and fun nature of this character. Use a list of adjectives, possibly bubbly, joyous, inviting, sparkly, chirpy, vibrant, flashy. Try and use a simile, as sparkly as, shimmering like. Over to you. Both Ebenezer and Wilhelmina fear the ghost of Christmas yet to come more than any other. I wonder why that is. What do you think? Dickens creates a frightening, spooky character who remains completely silent but who points the way for Scrooge. It shows him visions of things that have not yet come to pass, but will appear if Scrooge does not change his ways. When faced with heartbreaking scenes of his own death and that of Bob Cratchit's son Tiny Tim, Scrooge is filled with remorse and despair. In Supermarket Scrooge, the final ghost is preceded by some frozen vegetables who bring a chilling message to Scrooge. If she does not thaw her icy heart, she will remain frozen forever.
Get in the freezer, Wilhelmina.
Get in the freezer, Wilhelmina Scrooge.
It's nearly too late for her to redeem herself. She must thaw her icy heart. The final silent ghost is represented by a frozen turkey. The repetition of the word melancholy, which means expressing sadness, emphasises the dull and gloomy life that Scrooge leads. Foggier yet and colder, piercing, searching, biting cold. The cold is made to sound like a mean and vicious character, a bit like Scrooge himself. Your next challenge is a tricky one. You need to write a description of the turkey ghost but make it seem frightening. Again, try to use adjectives, maybe a simile, and try and create a scary or eerie mood through your language. Remember that it is silent and frozen foods tend not to smell, so focus on describing how it feels to be around the frozen turkey.
Oh, I'm scared. I'm so scared.
While Dickens uses language to bring to life the setting, putting on a stage show requires different skills. So how can the cold environment of this story be brought to life on the stage, Emma?
Well, there's lots of ways. Firstly, you could use lighting. Lighting, maybe using blue gels, which are the covers that go over the front of the lights, makes a wonderful cold atmosphere as everything appears more blue. You could also use lots of different scenery that makes a whole world of coldness, like the freezer in Supermarket Scrooge. Or you can get your acting skills going. So if you're pretending that you're in a frozen fridge, your body might jiggle like that. It might wiggle. It might make you look and appear cold. You might move a little bit stiff because your body is quite frozen. There's lots of ways, and it can look great on stage.
So your final challenge is to do some set design. Draw a picture of what you think a piece of scenery would look like on the stage that would help to bring to life the cold supermarket setting. Annotate your picture with adjectives, similes, any notes that you think